Alright, what's going on guys? I'm back at it again in here for another video for you guys for today. And today, yes, I'm in here for another audio commentary as well in here for another Raw review for you guys for this week. And talking about Raw from this week, and which I thought it was a better show from last week, even though with the Muppets and basically with the segments that we did have from them were pretty funny, I will say that. But definitely Raw was better from this week, and being across the pond, I know some of my subscribers were able to go, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. And with that being said, I enjoyed it as well. And with that being said as well, we kick things off with John Cena basically coming out and getting ready for his tag team match with The Rock and the Survivor Series and all that stuff. And basically having an altercation with the Awesome Truth right after that and preparing us for the Survivor Series. So that's what basically kicked things off for the first promo and, if you will, post promo beatdown. So that's what basically kicked things off there. Then we get into our first matchup of the night, which is a non-title matchup. We got John Morrison taking on Dolph Ziggler. And this one was a good way to kick things off here. We had a good match between Morrison and Ziggler here, running things down a little briefly and what we did get to see here. We did get to see the headlock as well as the tested strength, but both of these guys trying to prove who needs a win here. Of course, Ziggler in the way kind of having a losing streak, and as well Morrison basically having his losing streak more than Dolph Ziggler. So we did get to see that little test of strength there and who deserves to get the win with that. Also, as well, we see the face plant as well as the atomic drop, as well as the flying elbow by Dolph Ziggler and the drop kick. We almost seen the Moonlight Drive a couple of times, and as well as the Starship Pain, but that basically in a way failed and was reversed by Dolph Ziggler. And in the end, that's right, Morrison, yes, does get a win here, which is a good way to kick things off there. And it's really cool to see Morrison finally get the win and hopefully ends his losing streak. And hopefully there would be more of a payoff, and we'll see Morrison continue to win there. So anyway, that was basically it with the first matchup of the night with Morrison defeating Dolph Ziggler. And my congrats to John Morrison. Hopefully seeing bigger and better things from John Morrison here and out. And it was really cool to see that, like I mentioned, with John Morrison actually getting one here and defeating Dolph Ziggler. So we have to see what's going to happen next with John Morrison. Then we get into our next match. We got Mason Ryan against JTG in this one. This one was alright, didn't really care for it too much. Mainly on Mason Ryan taking out JTG in this one. And that's basically it. When it comes to that, really nothing really too much to talk about but Mason Ryan defeating JTG. Then we get into an untitled matchup with champion versus champion, Alberto Del Rio against Kofi Kingston. Now this one was a pretty good match, and it should have lasted at least anyway a little bit more longer, but it didn't really go for that long, but it was good for what it was worth. And running things down a little briefly, what we did get to see the drop kick here, the running knee, as well as a missed suicide dive here, mainly in the way of all Alberto Del Rio looking to send a message going into his match with CM Punk at the Survivor Series, which should be a good match, and definitely I'm looking forward for that. So in the end, Del Rio gets a defeat over Kofi Kingston with the cross arm breaker, making Kofi Kingston tap out. So it was pretty good for what it was worth, and Alberto Del Rio winning it there. Then we get into a promo with CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Basically, CM Punk saying that Del Rio is basically one dimension, which is actually pretty crazy there. And doesn't really have anything interesting other to say, but with his destiny and all that stuff since his debut, and hasn't really come up with anything new since his debut. So Punk really wanting this match to happen officially. Del Rio looking to back down from this and not having this match happen, but basically it is still happening. CM Punk and Del Rio for the championship, and really good promo there with CM Punk and Del Rio. Then we get into right after that, next match, Jack Swagger against Santino. This one was okay, nothing really too much to say about this one as well. Basically, Jack Swagger getting the win here via submission with the ankle lock and defeating Santino Marella. Then we get into, after that, another promo, this time with Kevin Nash, and this whole thing with Triple H and their basically situation, and it was a good promo. I really enjoyed that, and basically Kevin Nash really thanking John Laurinaitis for bringing him back and having to be on the main roster once again, and hopefully he doesn't get fired or anything right after that once again, and actually stays this time. and basically really with this feeling some regrets about being friends with Triple H and being in a way betrayed, and that's basically what we had there with Kevin Nash. And hopefully, I would expect that Triple H might come back early, and we'll probably see Triple H against Kevin Nash, most likely in a singles match. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a street fight or something there too as well. So I will be looking forward to see what's going to happen with that. So that was a good promo with Kevin Nash. Then we get into our main event. We got John Cena against John Cena and Zack Ryder taking on the Austin Truth with uh, the Truth and the Miz in this one. This was a good main event here. Running things out a little briefly here. We had the big splash as well as the clothesline and the face plant and everyone getting involved, of course, and seeing basically the double teams in this one. And for Zack Ryder in this main event, I thought he did good for the main event, and we'll probably see him probably here and there in the main event. So that was really cool, just to test the waters to see how Zack Ryder is going to go. Not really saying he's going to be in the main event a lot, but it was definitely really interesting and switch things up there with Zack Ryder being in the main event with John Cena. But in the end, the Austin Truth, yes, does get the win here and defeats Cena and Zack Ryder, and basically getting their upper advantage there and going into Survivor Series. So that's basically it when it comes to Raw in itself and closing the show. And like I mentioned, definitely it was a better show this week from last week, and next week is definitely going to be really interesting. Definitely looking forward to see what The Rock's going to say. With John Cena going into Survivor Series and see how they're going to coexist. So that's going to be awesome to see. So I definitely cannot wait for that. And that about does it for my Raw review, basically. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought on Raw, what you liked, what you didn't like about it, what you thought could have been more differently. What are you looking forward for into next week? Of course, with Raw being a 3-hour show and starting at 8 o'clock next week. So that's basically it when it comes to that. And that about does it for my Raw review. And definitely, as always, guys, I will talk to you guys later on.